Hi, my name is Christina Nembor. I'm currently a senior at Biola University. I am studying liberal studies elementary education with a concentration in special education. I grew up in San Diego, more specifically North County, Escondido. Um, I've been here my whole life. It's only an hour and a half away from Biola, which is really nice. More specifically about Biola, I play volleyball there, which is really fun. It's definitely had a big impact on me. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Love all the people I've met through it. It's really great. With regards to teaching, I kind of always knew that I wanted to work with kids, and then I somehow fell into being a teacher's assistant in my high school, but my school was K through 12, so I was able to um, be an assistant for a second and third grade teacher, and I could do that. I did that for about 2 to 3 years, and we ended up having a really good relationship, and she let me do more than just grade and copy papers, so I got to really experience the classroom, which is a unique opportunity because I know a lot of girls who have started the teaching program but didn't realize that they didn't actually like being in the classroom, so that's pretty cool. Um, I decided to do special needs because I was told that so many kids in today's classroom have been diagnosed with things, and it's just really important to know how to deal with that and to serve them well. So I switched over from early childhood to that, and I'm very glad I did. I think this is the last class that I have for that concentration, and I've definitely learned a lot. Um, it's just really important, I think, to know how to serve those kids and to make the classroom an environment where they can do well. And it's also been very eye-opening to how much work that takes. It definitely is a big job, a big task to be able to um, be monitoring them consistently enough so that you can get good data, and then from that data be able to analyze it and then create a behavior plan and then monitor them as they're on that plan, and then just like keep adjusting it as you go. So it's definitely a big task, but that's why I'm glad I took these classes so that I could be prepared to do that. So this class specifically, we did a behavior management plan for a student that we observed in our classroom. It was definitely a cool experience. So um, my student, he was occasionally verbally abusive to the teacher and his aide. He had a really hard time staying focused on his work. He consistently got out of his seat. He was rarely in his seat, honestly, and he was always walking around the classroom or even leaving the room, and the aides aren't allowed to physically bring him back in the room, so he would just spend half the day running around campus. So that was very interesting, but um, I definitely learned a lot from what the teacher said she did for him, and then I added a couple things of my own as well as modified a couple of the strategies that she used. So I'll just touch on a couple of those just to give you an idea of what this behavior management plan looked like. So the main thing that she used was a token economy. Basically, that's when the student does something good, he gets a ticket or a coin or money or whatever that is. He can save that, and over time he can use it to buy a prize or an activity or maybe extra recess time. I don't know, whatever you've decided. So she was using that for him, and it was really good. He really liked having the money with him, and it gave him a sense of independence and made him feel accomplished for doing that. So that was good. The only modification I would make to that would be a response cost. So that's basically when he does something that isn't appropriate, he gets that money taken away. And I think that would be good so that he liked having the money so much that would be an incentive um, to not do something that's inappropriate, so that he doesn't just get praised for the good things, but he also gets some consequences for the bad things. Another thing, um, this was one that I found on my own, was a good behavior game. So this is basically similar to the token economy, but this is the class as a whole, and there's specific behaviors that are identified as good and bad, and those behaviors have positive or negative point factors, and throughout the week the teacher keeps a tally of the class as a whole, their points. by the end of the week that tally is made up, and they can either keep that amount of points to add to the next week so that they can buy an activity as a class, or they can buy something smaller for that week. So I think that's good because it not only incentivizes them to do good things, but it is also, I think, a good team building activity. And my student tended to have good relationships with his peers, so I think that would be an incentive to him not to do something negative because he likes his friends and he doesn't want to disappoint them, so he wants to do good things. A couple other smaller strategies that I mentioned in my paper were video priming, positive student-teacher relationships. That was really important. I didn't realize how much of an impact that had on their future schooling. Some of the sources said that up to like 2 to 3 years later, they are still experiencing the effects of negative teacher relationships. So that's really important. So video priming, positive student-teacher relationships, and there were a couple other ones, but the majority of it was just really giving him good incentives to do positive things and to really have the desire to do positive, to demonstrate positive behaviors, and hopefully over the course of the school year, those would improve his behavior. So then to monitor those things, my strategy for that would be every day there's a table, and in that table it's a chart of basically the whole entire day, and you can keep track of when he's on task and when he's off task. So then at the end of every day, his mother will get a copy of that, and I can put it into a summative chart, a data chart. So basically, you can see how he fluctuates with good days and bad days, and then that can be correlated to the strategies that I was using at the time, maybe adjustments that I had made, adjustments that I will make, and that will show how much those are helping. And in addition to the on task, off task, I can also account for how many times he used inappropriate language to the teacher or the aide, or how many times or how much time he spent on his work every day, how many times he got out of his desk. So there's pretty much infinite things that you could choose to focus on, but for my students specifically, it would be those things. So yeah, that's basically the gist of the behavior plan that I did for him, and kind of gives some future techniques that could be used as he goes on to make sure that it can be adjusted accordingly. Yeah, it was a really good experience, and I think it definitely prepared me for future situations in the classroom. I think I'll be well equipped to create more of those plans, and definitely make them very specific to the students' needs. So yeah, I'm almost about to graduate, and then it's off to student teaching, so I'm excited to take the things that I've learned and apply them as I'm teaching my own classroom, and just to go on from there. So thank you.